Bill Spencer has always been trouble on The Bold and the Beautiful, but occasionally his nefarious actions lead some fans to fear the character could be painting himself into a corner he can't get out of. However, they shouldn't worry too much, because Bill has done some pretty awful things in the past and he's always managed to wriggle out of it. Bill Spencer Jr. made his debut on B&B in 2009 when actor Don Diamont joined the soap fresh off of his two-decade run on sister soap The Young and the Restless, where he played Brad Carlton. Bill is the previously unseen son of publishing tycoon Bill Spencer, who was a main character for the first 7 years of the show. After the senior Spencer died, Bill received half of Spencer Publications and was named co-CEO with his sister, Karen. Bill struck a deal with Stephanie Erin Montgomery/JapaStudios.com. The first thing Bill did to put the publishing company on the map was hire Stephanie Forrester to write a scandalous daily blog called The Logan Chronicles. This gave Stephanie the opportunity to take revenge on ex-husband Eric Forrester and his new wife, Donna Logan. Meanwhile, Bill began dating Katie Logan, and despite her sister's protests that he was just using her, the couple was married at her childhood home. When the Forresters just missed a loan payment, Bill pressured the bank to foreclose and Forrester Creations became a subsidiary of Spencer. Katie discovered that Bill was acting on his father's dying wish to destroy Eric and his company. But Steffi Forrester managed to blackmail Bill into selling the company back to the family by nearly seducing him and stealing Katie's ring off their dresser. Still, Bill later helped Donna win a percentage of Forrester in her divorce settlement and bought it off of her. Bill learned that he was the father of Liam Cooper, and welcomed him into the family. Although he may have taken the paternal thing a little too far when he nearly let Amber Moore die after she claimed to be pregnant with Liam's son. And after deciding not to leave Katie for Steffi, he tried to push Liam and Steffi together instead, even arranging for an impromptu wedding for the couple in Aspen. Bill was surprised to learn he had a son. Sean Smith/JapaStudios.com worried about Katie's health when she became pregnant. He suggested she terminate it but ultimately accepted her decision to carry the child and welcomed William into the world. Unfortunately, Katie suffered from postpartum depression and left him, pushing Bill towards her sister, Brooke Logan. Even after Katie recovered and returned to him, Bill couldn't resist his feelings for the blonde, and after going back and forth multiple times between the two women, Brooke found she was pregnant with Bill's child. Sadly, she miscarried, and Katie insisted on a divorce. When Liam planned to marry Hope in Italy, Bill got her father, Deacon Sharp, out of prison and used him to put the kibosh on the nuptials. Later, Bill discovered he had another son to boss around when Quinn Fuller admitted that her son, Wyatt Fuller, was actually his. And after a near-death experience while rock climbing, Bill decided to dump Brooke to return to Katie and their son. But when Brooke decided to remarry Rich, an upset Bill got so drunk he ended up in bed with Quinn. Bill wound up back with Brooke again while Katie planned to marry Rich. So Brooke and Bill decided to beat them to the punch and tie the knot in Dubai. Rich followed to stop them and Bill had Justin throw Rich from a helicopter into the ocean. Although Rich was feared dead, he was soon discovered alive and suffering from amnesia. Brooke was disgusted with Bill's actions, and they split up. So Bill went back to Katie, and they ended up tying the knot again. After learning that Maya Avon is transgender, Bill rushed to publish the scandalous story in the hopes it would destroy Rick Forrester, but later regretted his actions and even attended the couple's wedding. Worried about her sister being alone all the time, Katie urged Brooke to come work at Spencer with her and Bill. This was a bad idea, as being in such close proximity to each other led to Bill and Brooke confessing that they were still in love with each other. A jealous Katie drowned her sorrows in alcohol and demanded a divorce. Katie let Bill have her sister, but not her bottles. Jill Johnson/JapaStudios.com Bill managed to woo Brooke away from Rich when she learned he was carrying on with Quinn behind her back, but their marriage was short-lived. Brooke dumped him when she learned the truth that he'd had someone set fire to the Spectra Fashion's offices and then try to demolish the building while Sally Spectra and Liam were still inside. Eventually, Bill, found comfort with an equally distraught Steffi, and the two finally consummated their long-simmering relationship. Desperate to reconcile with Liam, Steffi was worried when she got pregnant, but relieved to learn Bill wasn't the father. Bill attempted to woo Steffi away from Liam but ultimately failed. He was also the center of a whodunit mystery when an unseen assailant broke into his home and shot him in the back. It was later revealed to be Taylor Hayes trying to protect her daughter from the cat. After finally giving up on Steffi, Bill turned his attentions to Brooke, but she insisted she was happily married to Rich. When Katie realized how much Bill was neglecting their son, she decided to sue for custody of Will and even married Thorne Forrester to help her case. Although Katie was awarded custody of Will, Brooke informed her sister it was because Rich had pressured the judge. So Bill was happy when Katie allowed him to spend more time with Will, even though she didn't explain why. But Bill got himself into more trouble when he started putting the moves on Brooke again. Ridge got so angry that his warning to stay away from his wife turned into a fight that landed Bill in the hospital after a deadly fall. In an effort to make amends, Bill changed his ways and seemed to have turned over a new leaf as he bonded with Will and reconciled with Katie. He did have a bit of a scare when he thought Flo Fulton might be his daughter from a fling he had with Shauna Fulton, but a DNA test left him in the clear. Brooke. Let me comfort you. With my lips. Howard Wise/JPSstudios.com. Bill tried to make things official with Katie, but she remained unsure if she could really trust he'd changed. And when he was comforting Brooke over her marital issues, the pair shared a kiss that Shauna caught on video. Although she didn't want to use it, Quinn made sure everyone saw the kiss at Ridge and Brooke's party. Heartbroken, a betrayed Katie dumped Bill, who immediately tried begging forgiveness. Ridge soon found another reason to hate Bill when the guy accidentally hit Steffi with his car while she was on her motorcycle. Luckily, she recovered and the police didn't press charges. Desperate to keep Ridge with Shauna, Quinn persuaded Bill to profess his love for Brooke, but the blonde turned him down. Unfortunately, Katie overheard, so when Bill eventually realized he loved her, she wasn't exactly enthusiastic about taking him back, declaring he'd have to prove he was worthy of her love. Bill was able to persuade the other Logans to persuade Katie to let him back into her life, but things took another turn when Liam was driving him home one night and accidentally struck Vinny with the car. When Liam passed out, Bill shoved his son back into the car and drove away, covering their tracks. He later had Justin sell his car overseas to dispose of the evidence and try to keep the guilt-ridden Liam from blurting out what they'd done. Bill's confession only landed them both in jail. Howard Wise/JPSstudios.com. But when Liam was compelled to confess, Bill tried to take the blame for the whole cover-up, but father and son both found themselves behind bars. Bill was confident Justin would have them out in no time, but the attorney was tired of being a sidekick and took advantage of his boss's absence to try and take over Spencer. Eventually, the truth came out, and when the pair were released, Bill sent Justin packing, never wanting to see him again. Later in the year, Bill again tried to beg Katie for another chance, but she declared they were over. He also offered Liam advice on how to deal with a newly returned deacon, but it was a little extreme. Stay tuned to see how Bill's story continues. Ad block test. Why?